What comes in your mind when you hear the word literature? Do you have any idea what are Philippine literature during the pre-colonial period? This video will show you the Philippine literature during pre-colonial period. First, let's talk about literature. So what is literature?
So, you may be wondering what is literature. Is this literature? How about this? Or this? If your answer to all of that is yes, then it is literature. Literature derives from the Latin word litera, which means letter. Philippine literature during pre-colonial period classified into three groups: folk speech, folk song, and folk. So now, we are done with the definition of literature. The question is, are you ready to look and discover Philippine literature during pre-colonial period? Fasten your seatbelt and I will bring you to the world of history of literature during pre-colonial period.
Mythology and monsters feature in nearly every culture around the world, and the Philippines is no exception, with stories of fantastical and frightening creatures. As you travel through unspoiled and wild destination of the Philippine folklores. One of the most infamous and frightening creatures from the Visayan region of the Philippines is the manananggal. The name manananggal is derived from the Tagalog word tanggal, which means to remove or to separate, because the creature detaches her torso from her lower body and flies off to hunt her prey. The manananggal uses a long proboscis-like tongue to feed on the blood and internal organs of humans, and even unborn fetus heart, which is definitely cringe-worthy. Another is the duende, sometimes referred to as the nuno sa punso. We are really talking of a dwarf here, but this sort is so unforgiving that one step on its home, the punso or an anthill, can expect a tirade of misfortunes, ranging from common colds to death of loved ones. The people say, "Tapi-tapi po, nuno," which means, "Pardon me, little people," in order to prevent their wrath. Then there's the tiyanak, a tiny monster that hides in the facade of an innocent baby, which is perhaps the most deceitful of them all, because really, who can ignore the cries of a sweet-looking baby? Sadly, people from the countryside also get more of this horror, although I believe that they originate from unnamed or aborted babies who can scare everyone. The white lady is tied to a particular place of hunting. She can appear anywhere. She has a particular habit of appearing at night on the side of the road and on your car's backseat while you are driving. If she is playful, she would hail cab drivers and disappear. She is believed to be a malevolent spirit who is out to scare you to death. The Capre, a hairy, red-eyed giant, is limited to rural areas because he only stays on the branches of huge trees while smoking tobaccos. For a final match, there's a monster called the Tik-Tik, which in essence is slightly similar to the Manananggal. However, this creature assumes for a big black bird and has a particular taste. It feeds on unborn babies from the roof of houses by using its long elastic tongue.
Legends. These are form of proofs which deal with the origin of a thing, location, or name. Example, Legends of Guava. This story is how people learn to eat fruit, help them with their starvation. And because the tree was from the grave of their king, Barabbas, they named the tree after him, Barabbas. Until now, it's called Bayabas.
Myths are stories that based on tradition. Some may have factual origins while others are completely fictionalized. But myths are more than mere stories and they serve more profound purpose in ancient modern cultures. Myths are scared tales that explain the world man's experience.
Epic. Epic is a long typical one derived from ancient oral tradition narrating the deeds and adventure of heroic of legendary figures of the history of a nation. One of the examples of epic, which is Biag ni Lamang or Life of Lamang. Ilocanos narrates the adventures of the prodigious epic hero Lamang who exhibit extraordinary powers at an early age. At 9 months, he is able to go to war to look for his father's killers. Then while in search for Lady Love in his canoe, he is swallowed by a big fish, but his roaster and his friends bring him back to life. Other epics known to most Filipino are Ebalon of Bicol, Darangan, which is a Muslim epic, the Kundaman of Palawan, the Alim of the Ifugao, Bantugan of Maranao, the Hilinawod of Panay, and the Tuang of Manubus.
Folk songs. This can be considered as the oldest forms of Philippine literature that mirror the culture which expresses hopes, aspirations, lifestyles, and emotions. If early Filipinos, some examples of folk songs are Kondiman, Kumintang, Uyay, Dandansoy, Magtanim Ediberos, or Hill, and some drinking songs.
Proverb is a short saying or piece of folk wisdom that emerges from the general culture rather than being written by a single individual author. Proverbs often use metaphors or creative imagery to express a broader truth. Proverbs are called salawikain in Tagalog. Here is an example of Tagalog proverb. So it is similar to English proverb, what goes around comes around. So it means that the rewards you receive was from the things that you did. Like if you're doing good things to your fellow men, then you receive kindness from them. Riddle is a word puzzle in which one player or person asks a confusing question, and the other player has to figure out its meaning. Bugtong is the local version of the riddle in the Philippines. In oral literature, the riddle may be part of a contest of wits, but even if the answer is known, the listeners enjoy hearing them over and over. chant are sung or chanted to the accompaniment of indigenous musical instruments, and dancing performed during harvest, weddings, or funerals by chanters. Like Hudhud, which consists of narrative chants traditionally performed by the Ifugao community. Maxims are sung or rhyming couplets with verses of 5, 6, or 8 syllables, each line having the same number of syllables. In addition, a maxim is a short memorable statement that gives wise advice on how to behave.